The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to part 7 of What If Deku was the son of Black Lightning. It's been a few months since the events of the last part, and the families have had time to adapt, really. Reina would call Izuku often to inform him how she's handling her new life, but Izuku would hear it all the time with a smile on his face, never faltering. His girlfriends would have a bit of a sour look on their faces, but those looks were merely to tease Reina. Izuku was Reina's first friend, after all. I'm glad you're having fun studying with your sister, Reina. Don't let Shoto get too far ahead of you. Your quirks are similar, after all. That put a big old smile on Reina's face. She was beginning to get nervous and feel inferior to her brother. It just was not a good look at all. That was not a good look. A few days after that, all our crew could be seen training. In this instance, Roy was teaching Huntress the ropes on her archery. While Talia did a good amount in teaching her, Helena just felt odd being that close to her and gladly took Roy's offer for training. I mean, sure, Talia's a decent mom, but at the same point in time, that's not her mom. So she felt a little off-put at it. But I mean, in Roy's case, come on, he was trained by the Green Arrow, for goodness sakes. Archery is kind of his thing. So, are we ever going to get into trick arrows? Helena was being a bit impatient, and Roy knew it. Once you can take the trickiest of shots without slipping up, then and only then will you be ready for trick arrows. Izuku took it on himself to demonstrate by shooting lightning at Helena. She, of course, had trouble with taking her shots properly. On the inverse, Arsenal had no problem shooting and hitting Izuku with an induction arrow. That was supposed to be a dud. It wasn't a dud. Izuku hit the ground hard and looked into a reflective surface on the floor. Looks like you're having trouble there, Zuzu. Want me to take a whack at it? Shut it, I can handle this. Doesn't look that way to me, dear. How about you go back into the corner? I'm not mentally distressed at the moment. Keep telling yourself that. That's when Izuku passed out, but he got up. An energy cloud could be seen flowing from around and within him. Oh, that does not look good. Calm down, Izuku. We were just having some fun, right? I mean, come on, man. It was a dud. I thought it was a dud. It was supposed to be a dud. It was not supposed to work. When the cloud of energy faded, Izuku was taller and his body was clearly more feminine. Both Titans noticed immediately that this body was female, so there was no doubt about that. Sorry, Roy. Izuku can't come to the phone at the moment. May Inko take a message for you? So, I owe you guys an explanation here. Keep in mind that Izuku saw his mother die right before his eyes at age 3. That caused him immense mental distress, but he was able to hide it for quite some time. Inko here was quite cunning. She was born with one primary directive: protect Izuku's mind from mental stress and duress. She was the tough one and also quite playful. Inko would show Izuku that there was no shame in having fun despite what had happened. In most instances, Inko was whispering in Izuku's ear, but there were instances where she flat out took over, with his permission, of course. However, they got caught once and were sent to all manner of shrinks to assort his situation. Now then, Izuku, this Inko girl, she doesn't exist. There is no shame in you being what you are, dear. Wear it loud, wear it proud. There is no shame. Inko smiled a wicked smile. All due respect, Doc. Maybe you should take that advice and shove it where the light don't shine. We ain't interested in your psychobabble. Now leave us alone! Inko struck at the doctor, and Jefferson went to the dark section of the Justice League to help fix this situation. Izuku and Inko would be put through arduous torment to the point where they faked it to keep Inko safe. This time around, it was Izuku's turn to save Izuku. Thank you so much. She's gone. I'm all alone now. Izuku was crying, but the safest way was to seal her himself and make it look real for all the people going in his mind. Now, yes, Izuku is immune to mind reading and mind control, but if he didn't let them in, it would raise flags.
I'm so sorry, Inko. But if I don't do this, they'll kill you.
Inko was being silent. She felt like Izuku was saying she wasn't needed anymore, and that caused her to have a brief existential crisis. Jean and Magan swept Izuku's mind to confirm this. However, Magan was more or less there for learning. She didn't know about Inko. All she knew was what she was told. Izuku was having mental problems. Of course, once she figured it out, she was not happy with it. But back to my point. All this would have been fine if our boy hadn't let the Martian Manhunter in his brain to check. Jean took the extra mile and did a partial wipe of anything involving Inko. Magan could feel what her uncle was doing and would leave kinks in the proverbial armor because, like I said, she was not cool with this. Eventually, Izuku remembered his other half and rescued her from what they would refer to as the cellar. It was the darkest corner of his mind where horrible things existed. In retrospect, this is like when the super cop gets put in prison. A prison that she's responsible for over half the inmates being in, however. But in this case, she was protected by Izuku, who saw this coming, and even if she wasn't, she was made to take on things like this. After receiving One for All, Izuku traveled into the depths of his mind to help rescue her. When he got there, a broken and despondent Inko could be seen.
Well, look who it is. It's the strong hero. You finally remember me, huh? I don't know why you came here to get me in the first place. You've grown, Zuzu. You don't need...
Izuku hugged Inko.
I will always need you. Now come home with me where you belong.
We're gonna cut back to present here. Before the two stood a rather bodacious woman that looked just like Izuku. However, she was taller and had certain alluring traits to her, if you catch my drift. She could give Starfire a run for her money. However, of course, these two weren't really conscious long enough to process that. Inko looked down.
Really, sis? Did you have to go that far over an accident? An accident that really, really hurt you, Izuku. But I suppose the weak little boy you once were is long gone, huh?
Inko once again was having an existential crisis. Izuku was able to handle the things that would bump in the night now. So what was her purpose?
Your purpose is to protect my sanity like you always do, sweetheart. Just because I have so many friends and 2 awesome girlfriends doesn't mean I don't need your support. Now may I take control again?
Inko sighs and looks deep into the reflection. Izuku looks at his shirt and sighs.
I'm gonna have to wear stretchy shirts from now on. Probably stretchy clothes, period. Guess I'll be using some of that special fabric for myself now. Your breasts are just way too big. Then those hips and that ass of yours. You know you love it.
Izuku did not deny that. Inko grins within the compact mirror they agreed to hold onto at all times. Not like it was any skin off Izuku's back. He loved looking amazing after all. I'll step in for a minute. Izuku is no Crazy Jane by any means. Inko is the only personality he has, and is a secondary, not a primary. Izuku made his way to the kitchen to get some grub. Good things, too, since Francis was cooking breakfast.
Got enough there for 2?
Francis nods and puts a fair amount on Izuku's plate. The two eat in silence and are greeted with the sight of a clearly shocked Arsenal and Huntress. They were both staying away from Izuku.
Don't look at me like that. I'm not the one who shot a live induction arrow at an electrokinetic.
Do you realize how much that hurts? Francis winced when he heard induction. Since he was raised in an electric household, he knew full well how much that hurt. He'd seen the aftermath of his adopted dad being struck with such abilities or devices and helped him recover. It was not pleasant. Francis shot an angry glare at them, but still gave them the hookup for breakfast. Izuku got a call from Reina.
Really? That's awesome! Want to celebrate? I'll be there in a minute.
Izuku put on a clear image in his mind and focused on Reina. Ever watch Street Fighter 2V? Izuku did the same motion from when Ryu did the Hado for the first time. A thin film of electroplasmic energy started forming as he did so. Then he straight up Hadoukened it and a portal formed. It took a few minutes for Izuku to do so. It's not quite combat ready, but given the proper time to master it, he can make it take seconds, not minutes. That's another thing that One For All just boosted. While Cannon Static never really showed that ability, there have been a few electrokinetic people that with an ability to teleport to a point, so why not? Thought it would be an intriguing twist, and this power will come in handy for the Titans. Izuku walked right through it and vanished. Izuku was greeted with a hug from Reina and Rei.
Welcome to our home, Izuku. Let's have some fun and celebrate, shall we?
Bet you're wondering what the Todoroki family is celebrating. Reina's citizenship was made official today, and she could actually go to a normal school like her brother. She would miss Fuyumi's teachings, but this was a chance for her to make friends, and she wasn't about to let that slip away. Not wanting to outshine Reina on her special day, Izuku opted to wear something average, for him at least. Izuku's hair was still done in the braided bun, but this time around, he was wearing a metallic black and jade hair sticks. He even thought about not wearing his favorite jade custom lipstick that he calls kryptonite of all things, since his girlfriends love seeing him wear that. The thought of eyeliner hit him once, but he's not there to grab eyes. He's there for his friend. Izuku was sitting in front of a koi pond when he noticed his other half looking utterly amazed.
You know you want to stand out, so why don't you? And don't say it's because you love your friend. She's used to you looking good. We are fabulous and we deserve to look as such.
Izuku almost answered her, but Enji dropped by. Reina loves this pond.
She actually designed the area and maintains it herself. Reina was hiding behind her father. Come now. Izuku is your friend. No need to be shy. Izuku held out his hand for Reina to grab, and they had a little dance under the moonlight. The two were smiling and giggling up a storm. This dance was just two friends having fun. Shoto had a sour look on his face. He didn't like Izuku that much, or to be more accurate, he felt that Izuku cut in line of sorts. However, NG would shut that thought down hard. Izuku skipped several grades and had a massive intellect, to the point where he has multiple doctorates and PhDs. He also passed the exam for the JSA with flying colors and managed to make something happen that's never happened in its long history. Izuku Pierce is a hero and has earned everything he has, son. I get that you believe that there is an order to things, but that boy going to a hero school would be an utter waste of his time. Fun just couldn't last forever. There was a villain attack going on, and what appeared to be a group of young heroes having a rough time with him. Izuku was about to fly off to help them, but Eiji stopped them. They've got this, Izuku. Just sit down and watch the Titans do their thing. It was killing Izuku, but he listened to Enji. They were slightly sloppy, but that was to be expected. This was their first field mission after all. Enji made a fact to tell Izuku that. Izuku spent some time glued to the screen. As for who the Titans were fighting, I'll say it was one of Broshogun's creations. Trouble in Tokyo was a good movie, so I'll say that for now at least, he's their big bad. Izuku could wait no longer and flew straight to the scene when people started shouting murderer at Mirio. That's enough of that! That thing was a construct made for one thing, inducing terror. Mirio, well done in leading your team. Sunburst over there barely had to step in. Toyman, you've done it well. Can you use what's left of that thing to track whatever created it? Of course, by then Izuku had put up a static fog. There would be no recording this conversation. Everyone turned to Toyman. I can try to, but doing so will take some time. And Static's right. We did good work here. Sunburst nodded his head at that. Titans East was smaller than their western counterpart for now, but their members included Lemillion, Toyman, Batman of Japan, Quirkless, and to make this interesting, Tengu. While my research indicates that he's closer to the bad end of the gray alignment, for flavor purposes we'll say that Tengu is Tokoyami's elder sister, with a similar quirk, since Tengu DC is like a spirit that has possessed a female before, so let's roll with it. Now, however, Tengu can do some Naruto level stuff with her quirk. She has similar limitations on her quirk usage, but in cases, the Tengu can whisper in her ear and cloud her judgment towards more violent acts. To be clear, I mean her rage. The Tengu has a tendency to amplify her negative emotions. As such, she meditates daily like a certain someone else we know. To counteract this, I put one last member on the team. Rising Sun. Despite this picture, I'll say he's about 18. His photokinesis quirk will come in handy in keeping the Tengu in check when the elder Tokoyami fails to contain herself. Izuku shakes everyone's hand and makes his way back to the Todoroki estate. The media was pissed that they lost a lot of footage. Izuku's, however, but who cares? Izuku spent the night at the Todoroki estate and returned home before sunrise.
So sunrise there, meaning it's like late evening for them. When Izuku returned home, there were some guests in the tower. The Young Justice team was enjoying a small barbecue. Izuku sat down as they were started playing a game of Never Have I Ever, and that's where we'll cut out. If you liked that, let's get a United States smash on that like button. If you're not subscribed, consider going full cowling with that subscribe button. And let's go plus ultra with the notifications. Ring that bell, baby. Rest easy, Deadites. And remember, the night is ours.